I've put together 10 rules, not for online success, but for online survival as an artist or as an entrepreneur. Rule number 1: back up your data and secure your accounts. I have lost data and accounts in all possible ways. They have hacked my social media. They have hacked my Google accounts. I had a ransom malware that locks up your files and asks you to pay in Bitcoin for the files to be unlocked. And the encoding algorithm cannot be found. It's made by them. So only they can unlock the files. And all these times one thing kept me away from losing my data and consequently my mind. And that was backup. I always keep backup. I have external hard disks out of my home, out of my office. You have to have backup in external devices or on the cloud that are out of your house, because if they infiltrate your house and they steal your equipment, you will lose your data. And this might happen. Don't think for a moment that those things can't happen to you. Second, very important thing that some people might argue with, saying that you have to have one occupation. There is a wise saying in the USA, and it goes like this: if you have more than one business, you have no business. But tell that to Elon Musk or to other people that can comfortably manage multiple businesses on diverse topics. So have multiple sources of income. Our life is totally bereft of security, and so is our financial status. YouTube might not be here tomorrow. Facebook might not be here tomorrow. Your source of income that you are based on could possibly not be here tomorrow. And that exactly is what happens to people who are looking for a job. Call me arrogant or whatever you want to call me, but when somebody tells me I am looking for a job, it automatically means two things: that he is poor and that he has no skill of any kind. Because if you have some sort of skill and you are really good at something, you will never be left without a job. And my advice is to have multiple sources of income. I have around 10 sources of income that I will explain on another video. 3. Try to foresee what your future self wants. It is really amazing the rate and the speed that we people change and get old. And it is really amazing how fast our goals change and our targets. So maybe you are very excited about something that you discovered today and you already hooked up with the activity and already started to work on it. Give it a few days or even weeks if you can before you start wasting your time on it, because during those days you might change your mind. You might find something else more interesting or you might reconsider. So if you manage to find out what your future self wants, you will save a lot of time. Time is everything. Time is the only thing you've got. Okay, now something a little bit contradictory. Restrain your creativity and productivity to one niche. I've just said before that you have to have multiple sources of income, but although this seems like a contradiction, it really isn't. My 10 sources of income are very similar, but also very different. All my income comes from the internet, from me sitting on the computer. However, I make money on YouTube and I make money on other platforms. And even though the niche is the same, it's all about music marketing and business, yet the income comes from different sources. So anyway, you got it. A very important one. Raise the bar, or else raise your standards, or else set the marker high. And all that means convince yourself to set higher goals from the goals that you would normally set if you were self-conscious, self-aware. We always achieve goals, I mean not always, but in 99% of the cases we achieve goals that are below our expectations. So the higher your expectation, the higher the goals that you will achieve eventually. I have a friend, I mean, we don't talk so much lately, but he once said to me that I open my hands to grab things that are out of my reach. And that is true. He was correct in that sense. But that is the way that you will achieve high goals, by setting the marker on the ceiling. Number 6 is put away your goddamn phone. People below 30 don't really understand that because they had a mobile in their hands since they were 3 years old. But my generation and above, we grew up without a mobile phone. Our first handy device was in high school. Some of my classmates had a mobile phone, not all. And when we say mobile phone, we just mean text messages, SMS, nothing else. So anyway, the young kids don't get this. But the mobile phone is more of a disruption than it is a tool, a helpful device. So you don't really need your mobile phone. Trust me, all this time you spend scrolling down on TikTok or on Instagram, you might think that this is fun and it is on some degree, but is bad quality fun. Don't persuade quantity but quality. This is something that I struggle even now. What I mean by the term quality is that you need engagement and commitment. Through your social media's activity, is always obvious if you manipulated your numbers or if people came to you at their own will. If you don't love doing it, move away. Find out what you love to do and do that. Sometimes I feel pity for those who haven't found any hobby in their lives, but it's the miserable people that make art. It's the unhappy people that make art and struggle for a better future. Because think about it, if you are happy with your current situation and with yourself, you don't need to prove anything to anyone. So you just sit and enjoy. So anyway, I haven't come to conclusions about art, work and struggle, but I can assure you about one thing. If you don't love what you do, and by the term love I mean the eternal love, not once week love, but the love that lasts forever. So if you don't love it, move away. Another advice is this for entrepreneurs. Whatever you do, do it in English or in Spanish or in Chinese, in Mandarin if you are Chinese. What I mean by that is, let's say that you come from a small country like mine, from Greece. We are 10 million, there are 10 million Greeks in Greece and around 10 million spread around the other continents. So, when you make something addressed only to 20 million, the response will be respectively small. Why not address to the whole world? And you have some really good options here. Half world speaks Spanish, Portuguese / Spanish. Let's say that you come from a small country in South America that has its own language. Don't do your content in your own language. Do it in Spanish, in Portuguese, something that you could attract a wider audience. And one final advice. When being online, be polite. I have the tendency to swear and talk bad through email or on Reddit, and I've paid for it several times. For instance, they have shut down 6 or 7 Reddit profiles because of inappropriate language usage, and I had a best-selling gig on Fiverr. They closed my gig at some point. I asked them why you closed my gig, and they gave me a stupid answer, a stupid automated answer. And then I found out that several other people were selling the exact same gig. And I sent them more emails and asked them, what are you doing here? I mean, look at him, he's selling the exact same gig, the exact same service. Why did you shut down my service and not his? And they also gave me an automated response. At the end, I called them jokers. I said, you realize that you are being jokers, don't you? And they shut down my account. Now the problem was that this account had a best-selling gig with over 500 completed orders. And if I had kept that profile, I would still have a respectful profile in my hands. Although you couldn't see the gig, the inactive gig, you could see the comments and the rates. Sometimes you swear and you say you use explicit language, but trust me, believe me, none of these times is for your own benefit. That always works against you. So try not to swear, try to keep calm and try to be polite under all circumstances.